Bourbon Street was a living pulse, its heartbeat a sultry saxophone wail that spilled from open windows and shadowed doorways. By mid-morning, the Mardi Gras crowds had thickened, a kaleidoscope of sequined masks and feather boas weaving through the French Quarter's narrow arteries. The sun hung low, glinting off brass instruments as a cruise band marched past, their rendition of Basin Street Blues fraying under the weight of too much whiskey. The air was heavy with the tang of spilled rum, fried oysters, and the faint musk of decay from the Mississippi a block away. Julien Dubois moved against the tide, his fedora pulled low, his scar hidden in the shadow of the brim. The Crescent Moon Masque from Jackson Square nodded his thoughts, its leering grin a taunt he couldn't shake. Celeste Moreau's words, her mention of the crew of Comus Ball and Madame Zora, had lit a spark, but Julien needed more than theories. He needed answers, and if anyone could pry secrets from the Quarter's underbelly, it was Tommy Satch Russo. The speakeasy, tucked behind a nondescript door on Bourbon Street, bore no sign, only a faint scratch of a crescent moon on the frame, a bootlegger's code. Julien knocked twice, then once more, and the door cracked open to reveal a pair of wary eyes. "Password," growled a voice thick with Cajun grit. "Moonshine," Julien said, the word as much a ritual as the knock. The door swung wide, and he stepped into a haze of cigarette smoke and jazz. The room was a cavern of shadows, lit by flickering oil lamps that cast amber pools on the walls. A five-piece band crowded a corner stage, Tommy's trumpet leading the charge with a high, mournful wail that cut through the chatter. Patrons, flappers, dockworkers, and suited men with eyes too sharp for honest work clustered around mismatched tables, their glasses filled with illegal gin. The air buzzed with the reckless energy of prohibition, where every sip was a defiance of the law. Julien spotted Tommy at the bandstand, his lean frame swaying as he coaxed a cascade of notes from his horn. At 25, Tommy Russo was a fixture in the Quarter's jazz scene, his Italian-American charm and quick fingers earning him gigs from Storyville to the riverfront. But it was his other talent eavesdropping on the city's elite while they drank that made him Julien's best informant. The song ended, and Tommy wiped his brow, his dark curls plastered with sweat. He caught Julien's eye and nodded, slipping off the stage as the band launched into a ragtime number. They met at the bar, where a bartender with a missing ear poured Julien a coffee, black and bitter, without being asked. "Early for you, detective," Tommy said, his voice low, his grin lopsided. He leaned on the bar, his trumpet case at his feet. "Mardi Gras got you chasing ghosts already?" "Ghosts don't bleed, Satch," Julien replied, sipping the coffee. It burned his throat, grounding him. "Henri Levine's dead. Stabbed in Jackson Square, masked like something out of a nightmare. You hear anything about it?" Tommy's grin faltered, his fingers drumming on the bar. "Levine? The banker? Hell, that's no small fish." He glanced over his shoulder, ensuring no one was listening. The band's rhythm pulsed, masking their words. "Words out, sure. Folks are spooked, saying it's voodoo, some curse on the rich. Me, I don't buy it." Julien leaned closer, his voice ablade. "What do you buy, Tommy?" Levine wasn't just a banker. He was connected to balls, clubs, the kind of places you play. What was he into? Tommy hesitated, his eyes flicking to the speakeasy's shadowed corners. He pulled a cigarette from his pocket, lighting it with a match that trembled slightly. Look, Julian, I blow my horn, I keep my ears open, but I don't dig too deep. Levine, he was at the Comus ball, yeah, throwing money around, dancing with dames who cost more than my rent. But he was also part of something else. A club, real exclusive. Not the kind with a sign out front. Julian's pulse quickened, the Crescent Moon mask flashing in his mind. What kind of club? Tommy exhaled smoke, his voice barely a whisper. They call it the Order. Old money, Creole mostly, but some new blood like Levine. Meet in secret, fancy masks, weird rituals. I heard M talk once, in a back room here, about the moon's price. Didn't sound like a card game, you know? The moon's price, Julian repeated, his scar itching. The crescent moon on Levine's mask wasn't just a symbol, it was a signature.